first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, you know. They couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
Look, everybody, I know that I spend a lot of time talking about the mainstream media. And part of that is the fact that I want to juxtapose what I do and those in my cohort here on YouTube and on Facebook, the people in my space, in my genre. I want to juxtapose what we do in the good work, the hard work, the decent work, the integrity-fueled work that we do. And I want to separate myself from mainstream media, from corporate media, from media that has an absolute agenda and the point of view of maintaining power. I talk about it a lot. But right now, it is more stark than ever, that juxtaposition. I've been watching CNN this morning. It is right now Tuesday morning in Japan. You're going to be watching this in Tuesday morning in several hours in the United States. And I'm watching CNN for the evening yesterday for you. I'm in the future. And CNN is just running segment after segment after segment about this particular topic, about Donald Trump talking about a third term, with chyrons that read, trolling? Is he trolling? Is he just trying to own the libs? This is not the question we should be asking. These are not the perspectives we should be taking when the President of the United States of America is speaking openly about defying the Constitution of the United States. Need I remind you what the 22nd Amendment of the Constitution says? It says no person shall be elected to the office of president more than twice, and no person who has held the office of president or acted as president for more than 2 years of a term to which another person or some other person was elected president shall be elected to the office of president more than once. But this article shall not apply to any person holding the office of president when the article was proposed by Congress, and shall not prevent any person who may be holding the office of president or acting as president during the term within which this article becomes operative for holding the office of president or acting president during the remainder of such a term. It is very clear that Donald Trump is not qualified. He is constitutionally disqualified from attaining a third term in office. Point blank. So for the media to be acting as though, oh, he's just a jokester, he's just kidding y'all, he's just trolling us. One, that's not his job. Two, they are missing the moment with Anderson Cooper having David Urban on and the lady from The View, Farrah Griffin, whatever, and Van Jones, the three mooks contemplating whether Donald Trump is joking or not. Even if he is, it's not the point. Yesterday on Air Force One, if you missed this, he's being asked by a gaggle of reporters about his health, about running for a third term, and he melds the two. In this video, we're going to talk about what he said. I'm going to play what he said, and we're going to address the diminishment in his mental ability, but also the fact that it's just abject disrespect for the Constitution and the 26th Amendment that I just read to you.
They are good people.
For 2028, they're very good people.
Well, we have great people. I don't have to get into that, but we have one of them standing right here. We have JD, obviously. The vice president is great. I think Marco's great. I think, I'm not sure if anybody would run against us. I think if they ever formed a group, it would be unstoppable. I really do. I believe that. I would love to do it. I have my best numbers ever. It's very terrible. I have my best numbers. If you read it, am I not ruling it out? I mean, you'll have to tell me. All I can tell you is that we have a great group of people, which they don't. They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. They have AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take when I was at Walter Reed. Those are very hard, they're really aptitude tests, I guess, in a certain way, but they're cognitive tests. Let AOC go against Trump. Let Jasmine go against Trump. I don't think Jasmine, the first couple of questions are easy. A tiger, an elephant, a giraffe, you get up to about 5 or 6, and then when you get up to 10 and 20 and 25, they couldn't come close to answering any of those questions.
All right. There's two things here. One, when the reporter asks about him not ruling it out, and he says, you'll have to tell me. You'll have to tell me whether I'm going to rule it out. That seems to me to be a challenge. That seems to me to be to him contemplating or communicating that you're going to have to stop me. As he pits Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance, two of the biggest ass kisses in the administration, against one another, while saying he doesn't rule it out that he would run, while lying about his poll numbers, that they're the greatest ever. Hours after this, he jumped on Truth Social and was tweeting about or posting about his poll numbers being the greatest they've ever been, which just lets you know how insecure about those poll numbers he is. But talking about Jasmine Crockett and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez being low IQ, of course he's attacking women of color. Of course our white supremacist president is endeavoring that. But the exam that he acts like he passed with flying colors is this right here. And let's one more time go through the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, which is not an IQ. It is not an aptitude test. This is an exam that is administered to people in diminishing cognitive states. It's people who are at the precipice of or in the throes of dementia and Alzheimer's. It's not given to healthy people. I myself have never clinically been administered this test. We've done it on the podcast where Brittany Page has asked me the questions just to show the audience what kind of a test it is. But there's no need for me to take this test. There's no need for me to claim that I passed it with flying colors or aced it like it's the SAT or the GRE or the LSAT. It is not that. There are pictures of a horse and a tiger and a duck. This is not something you pass with flying colors and then brag about. Further, let me say this. Have you gone through life, when you've gone through life, obviously you've gone through life, but have you had people in your life that were the weak people who acted tough? Truly smart people don't brag about how smart they are, trying to convince others of their intellect because they're smart and secure in it. Tough guys who are adept at hand-to-hand combat don't go around acting like a tough guy because they don't need to. They're a tough guy. The same thing goes here. Wildly wealthy people don't go around talking about how rich they are because they're rich. They don't need to convince anybody of it. And Donald Trump is weak, and all of this braggadocio leads us, it should lead you to understand fully that that's what we're dealing with here. But let's go through this. They start the test and they want a visuospatial executive understanding from 1 to A to 2 to B to 3 to C to 4. You get the picture. They want you to name what these animals are. They give you a series of words. Remember when he said what the words were: man, woman, TV, camera, whatever. And then later on in the test, they ask again. This is not an aptitude test. This is not an IQ test. And the fact that he thinks it is should be alarming to us all. This goes beyond the fact that he is an autocratic idiot who wants to have a third term. This is someone who is not capable, not just not qualified. He is not able to do the job. He's meeting with world leaders probably 2 miles from where I'm sitting in my hotel room in Tokyo right now. And this is who our representative is on a global stage. A man who's claiming to solve wars, ending multiple wars, nearly a dozen wars that didn't exist. He's inventing conflicts that he solved and then whining and crying that he's not getting the Nobel Peace Prize. And Republicans, as you watched in that clip, are gleeful. Marco Rubio giggling like a teenage girl about what the dear leader. He is a high priest in the cult of Donald Trump. Donald Trump, he's so funny. He's saying funny things, disrespecting the oath to the Constitution that he took on multiple occasions. And Republicans are here for it. They're celebrating this. They have allowed him to take over their party and destroy the country. He is endeavoring to create power for himself that is unmatched and extra constitutional. And unless we step up, stand up, organize, get to the polls during the midterms, and switch the majority in the House of Representatives, we're going to be in for it and maybe done for. Anyway, I would love your opinion about all of this. Did you watch this clip? I'm getting very tired of having to talk about this all the time. It would be a joyful event to have normal policy analysis rather than having to drudge through this nonsense on a daily basis. What do you think? You can comment below this video wherever you're watching it, whether that be Facebook or YouTube. You can also call the voicemail line 714-576-4054. And of course, as always, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. I love and appreciate you very much. Thanks for joining me today. I'll be back in a couple days, few days. It's again, the time thing is very, very difficult for me to understand. Maybe I need to take one of these, huh? Anyway, I'll see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another. The headlines obviously talked about the passing of Trump's big, beautiful bill. But did you catch what the headlines did not make note of? This same beautiful bill hands over nearly $40 billion of our tax dollars to ICE per year. This is more money than most countries spend on their entire military. And we're granting it to our version of the secret police. Despite raids on the increase and Trump's near constant mention of deporting U.S. citizens, much of our mainstream media has avoided talking about this funding increase. Or worse, they have twisted the bill's language to frame this spending as good for the citizens of the United States. This should be the biggest story in America right now, and it's not. And look, you'd be naive to think that this is anything other than by design from the GOP. Tools like ground news are an essential part of your news consumption for examples just like this. By gathering the world's news in one place, organizing it by story, and then analyzing just how far right, how radical each unbiased source actually is, ground news will expose blind spots like this ICE funding, and it will give you more context than you can get anywhere else. Shouldn't we be learning from history? We have seen Trump's playbook before, and the comparisons to regimes of misinformation and terror are alarmingly plentiful. Ground news will help you stay ahead on immigration, the economy, or simply bring your attention to stories missing from your newsfeed. Both Ground News' app and their website are smarter, more reliable ways to access the news unfiltered, to stay informed in the face of MAGA wanting to keep us in the dark. Scan this QR code or head to ground.news/Dollemore now to score 40% off the same Vantage plan that I use, which gives you unlimited access for just $5 per month. Or simply click the link in the description below to begin saving big. The right is absolutely banking on you to be uninformed. Stay ahead and see all the news with Ground News.